Hello, it's Ryan from R. Davis Electrical. Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, we are at the new build properties today. First one was completed a few weeks ago. Just doing a little bit of work on the second one. You've probably seen all the videos before, but if you haven't already, make sure you click, there it is, up this side there. First property, been done, it's been tested. Turned up last week, turned the first floor lights on. They keep tripping. Which isn't good. Luckily enough, obviously, I first fixed it, second fixed it. I know cable routes and things. I'm just worried that a screw's been put through on skirting boards or something like that that's caused this fault. But here's the consumer unit. When you go and turn the lights on, there we go. We keep tripping. So we'll start strip down the circuit. We'll go through our process of trying to rectify and find these faults. Like I said before, I know how circuits have been wired here, so we can cut down the circuits and actually have a good look and find it. Okay, obviously we've got Cass with us again today. Hello. So, I know that my cables, the consumer unit is down there, our cables run up, we hit this first switch, we feed this switch, feed the next switch to the bathroom, switch to the hallway, into the main bedroom, but there is a light that is going to be put in here that's going to be on a PIR. So we've disconnected the leg in and the leg out, so now this part of the house should no longer work. We're going to turn them back on and see if we've still got the fault. So I like to do it this way first. I like to try and split circuits in half when it comes to testing and sort of narrow down the search of where the fault could be. So yeah, we'll start that first. Before we start getting testers out and start doing insulation resistance testing, continuity testing, and find out what the actual fault is, I like to narrow it down first and pinpoint exactly what part of the leg we're looking at. Sound good to you?
Sounds great to me.
Okay, so Cass has been downstairs, turned the breaker back on. We've now got some lights. So these are now working on the first floor. The bathroom is now working. So now we know that this first part of the circuit is good. So the fault now has to be from here, up there, away into this bedroom. Now, luckily enough for me, like I said before, I wired this, so I know routes, blah, blah, blah. It's probably not going to be the same for everyone else watching this video. It's going to be on properties where you don't know cable routes, you don't know how cables are run. So it's just a process of elimination. And this is how I always start any fault finding. I always split the circuit and work back from there. So if this was still tripping, this light was still tripping here, then I would then go over to my next point of reference, disconnect the circuits and keep moving back that way to see what comes on, what doesn't come on. Hopefully you catch my drift. Hopefully you know roughly what I'm talking about. Right, so Casper's now joint cables through temporary. He's now gonna whip off this light switch in here. So I want you to disconnect the line in, so we should have two in the common and then our neutrals in the Wagos, mate, for me. So you get that done. Then it would obviously, this is the last point in this upstairs lighting circuit. We then go to the isolator for the fan and then over to the fan. Obviously we got our light, so that is the very, very last point where we tested from. So that's how I know that previously this was all okay, because we tested it. So you good there?
This one?
You good there? Go downstairs, whack her back on, mate, and we can see if we're still holding out. All right, so Casper's turned the lights back on. Do not try this at home. I just separated these for now, so don't go near this light switch, please, Casper. Luckily enough, this is an empty property as well, so it's only us two working. Excuse me, it's only us two working here. So we're all on. Yeah, can you just turn that light switch on? We are on, so we're all good. We're all good in the bathroom, so that should be good. So we're good into the bedroom here. That's a result. So we'll reconnect, turn the power back off, make sure the power is off, reconnect again, and like I said, it's just a process of elimination. Move on to the next point. Hey.
Yes, mate.
Bosh. Well, this is the same fault you would find on a ring circuit. Exactly the same process that I would do on a ring circuit. So Casper, if we had a fault with the sockets and we had no appliances plugged in causing the RCD to trip, I would go to my socket, which would be in the middle. I'd pick a socket. I would take the socket off, disconnect the socket. So we've got two legs of the ring. Yeah? Disconnect one leg of the ring at the board, turn it on, see what half the ring's on, and then you can work out what sockets are working, and then you just keep going to the next socket, add them together. Yeah, and then that will process elimination, work out what leg's not working. Easy as that. Okay, we can start to finally breathe a little bit, Casper, because we know 90% of this is okay from the process of elimination. We're now going to go to check from the last, well, it's not the last point, but the last light switch that's being fed up to the fan, and we can work away that way, so we can breathe a little bit. But it gives me a chance to talk a little bit about Tradeify. You lot know how much I love Tradeify and how much I use it. Quotes, invoices, all in one very handy place. Even do your test certs. You got your schedule of jobs, your map. Oh, listen, this thing is unbelievable. We love using it, don't we, mate? We really do love using it, and like I keep saying before, how much more organised I've got as, I would say, a one-man band, but obviously I've got Casper as well. Just takes that stress away, makes my life so much easier. Check out the link below, try out Tradeify for the first 3 months and get 50% off with code RyanDavis50. And yeah, you can do all your invoices while you carry on working.
That's right.
Yes, mate. Okay, so process of elimination, we have disconnected now. The leg going up from the light switch. So if you go and turn that on, mate, hopefully these lights in here will now come on. Fingers crossed, so then it only leaves then, well, sorry, not the lights in here, lights in the bathroom, because that switch feeds the bathroom lights. And then we can work away. Still tripping? Still tripping. So it's more than likely a light in here. So I'm going to disconnect the neutrals at this light. Fitting. Disconnect. Turn them back on, mate. Make sure we are still not tripping. And we're on. As easy as that. We are on. So we are on. No doubt when I connect these neutrals together, do not try this at home. Are you ready? Bosh. Neutrals connect, lights go off. So we will test the circuit between there and there. Test that. Test the cable, the switch line then that goes from the light switch to the lights. Test that. and we should be narrowing it down. Okay, so now I'm not too sure what the leg that goes from this bedroom switch is to over to there. So we're going to Wago one, test it. If it's not that one, stick the permanent line and neutral of the other leg in a Wago, test it across to here, see which leg it is, because I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure which one it is that way. I know it's here, this one. I keep getting confused, mate. So this light switch is for the bedroom. We've tested between there and there. We've got no dead shorts on anything. So it looks like it's the switch line. I keep thinking the switch line is for this and here. It's not, it's for the ones in there. There's only 4 in here. So we are good between there and there. I've already done continuity test. I will do an insulation test in a minute. I just want to try and find this fault quickly for now. So now it's a process of, let's see if we can get the fan up and running. So we'll connect, we've got our permanent line of neutral. We'll get the fan connected and then we can eliminate that it's the fan. And yeah, we will go from there. So as young Casper goes downstairs, lights connected, just Wagoed through the fan to the permanent live. Lights are on in here. We are all good for the fan. So the fan is now running. So it looks like our fault is now between our switch line going up to these 4 lights in the ensuite.
Yes, Mike.
Yes, Mike. So could it have been that they've driven a cable through, driven a nail through and fitting the architrave on? Quite possibly, because like I said, we tested end of line, which is that far light up in the corner there originally. Before all architraves doors are put on, we were well ahead of them, weren't we? So now, circuit off, test the circuits off, and then we can get to finding this fault. What we might do is reconnect the light, same process again, drop down the first 2 lights here, disconnect them, have one connected, so we disconnect the next 3, and we keep going from there, mate. Yep. Yay! So before we get up and take down them lights, mate, just want you to continuity between neutral and line conductors. Make sure them testers are working, mate. We've got continuity on them. Test them together, thank you. No, line and CPC. Nothing? Nope. Neutral and CPC.
There it is.
There it is. Okay. Right, that is our fault. We'll drop down the lights now and then we can just work out which leg it is. So that's out there. They go that way. So our cable is, let me make sure again. That's our cable down to the light switch right there. So we should now have the same neutral CPC fault here. Yeah, same neutral CPC fault. So in my head now, I am thinking, again, I've said this before, the only thing that's been done since we've had these lights put in, installed, powered up, is the architraves on these doors. So no doubt, architrave's been fitted, nails been pumped through, caught this cable. So what we'll do, we'll probably take this box out, because our cables run from the top there down in this section of framing. So we'll drop this box out. We can pull then this cable through, inspect it, see where the fault is, get replacing it. We might have to do a joint in this isolator switch and then rewire the switch line back down. That is best case scenario. So Casper has taken out the back box that fed the fan isolator. Luckily enough, our 2 legs drop down right there. So Cass is just going to disconnect the CPCs. If you can jump on that now, mate, and we can then pull up this switch line, or this permanent, no, it is the switch line for these lights. And well, I'm saying hopefully, I'm hoping that that is where the damaged part of our leg is. That one moves. This one, R1, doesn't move. So what we might have to do, oh dear, might have to just cut that there, rejoin another piece down to there. Yeah, and hopefully that rectifies it. We'll cut it, rejoin, retest that leg from the isolator to the light. If that's good, then it's definitely our fault between there and there. I'd like to pull it out so we can show the client exactly what the fault was, because we want to get paid for our time, don't we? Don't do it for free, do we? Okay, we've now got no CPC and neutral fault. We got nothing going to that light, so we are good. So, like I said, rewire there to there, make that joint in the fan isolator, rekit the lights, and hopefully we get the power back on. So as you would have seen, that was a little bit of a struggle pulling that out. I couldn't pull it all out, but the bit I have just pulled, that you can see something's been driven right through the centre of that cable. So I think my suspicions were correct on that. So here's a better look at the cable. As you can see, straight through the middle. Yeah, fun and games. I haven't got a clue how that has happened. So in typical fashion, didn't have any 1mm 1.5, so we wired it in 3/4. So we've got a leg in now, there and there. Here we are, new leg pulled in. And we can make that joint now in the isolator switch. And we should be good, mate. So yeah, just gonna connect that up. And if by magic, we are all done. So Caspar, turn the lights on, mate. Flick that switch.
Bosh.
Bush. Back up and working. 0 damage. We were so lucky with this, weren't we? We was so very lucky that that was about there. So yeah, could have been a lot worse, but luck is on our side. And I think that is all for today's episode. Hopefully some of you learned a little bit about fault finding. Fingers crossed, as long as one of you are happy, that's all that matters, isn't it? So remember, like, subscribe, and we will catch you all on the next video. See you later.